Oh, how come the McDonald's Happy Meal toy isn't like a picture of like a hot girl's pussy?
Oh, it's the kid getting words. Podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all well and just ripping into our Tuesdays or whatever fucking day you're listening to this. My God, yet again, another fucking crazy week. But it's all been happening this week. Before we rip into it, let's see what this opening clip was all on about.
Yo, how come the McDonald's Happy Meal toy isn't like a picture of like a hot girl's pussy?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I might be alone in this, but I tend to agree with this bloke. He's got an idea. I would have loved if when I was a 9-year-old boy, just opening my Happy Meal and just seeing a hot girl's pussy. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is when McDonald's rejects your like marketing idea. Like this guy went into his first day at McDonald's. He's like, I've got the perfect idea for Happy Meals, guys. And now he's on TikTok just making shirtless fucking videos. But shout out to that bloke. I need some marketing advice around the podcast. So if you've got any other brain busters, shoot them to your boy. But yeah, absolute fucking chaos around here at the moment. We've finally, not finally, that's not a nice thing to say, but we've had Nikita's dad's over from New Zealand with his wife, and they've been here since Thursday, I think it was. So I don't know. You guys know me. I'm a fucking weirdo. I like my personal space. I like all that sort of shit. And don't get me wrong, though. They were more than like respectable guests and things like that. Like her dad fixed some light switches and shit around the house and some other bits and pieces, and like everything was fine. But you know me, like just nervous the whole time, just like making small talk every time you pass each other. Oh God. So it is we're back, guys. I was actually really nervous that I was going to have to record this while he's sitting on the outside of the door. Could you imagine being a father and you raise this lovely daughter in Nikita, and you go to their house when they're in their mid-30s and their husband is just in the garage talking absolute fucking dribble. He's playing blokes talking about getting pussies in their Happy Meals. God, I'd be disappointed if I was him. But yeah, the house is back. We're ripping into the podcast. And to kick the podcast off, I think we need to crack a can of delicious kamikaze. Now, I played a fun game this morning. Obviously, it's still school holidays, so I do still have two little terrors sitting on the outside of that door. They did make each other cry less than 5 minutes ago. So we will see how this podcast pans out. But to keep them distracted for approximately 1.09 seconds, I said, hey, boys, want to play a fun game? You go both pick a can of kamikaze each. I'll put a blindfold on and I'll pick the can. So I think P picked this one, or maybe Westy. I don't even fucking remember. But we got blue raspberry today. So it has been a couple of weeks since I've had the blue raspberry. To be honest, I don't really remember how it tastes, but let's crack it and find out. Guys, that was actually insane. I hope that came through the audio good. Let's take a sip of this. It smells so fucking good straight off the bat. All right. That's elite. I love that. Someone just dropped something outside the door there. Probably an iPad. I could afford a new iPad screen again, guys, right? Surely. Anyway, let's make this quick and painless. Rip in. Let's get down to some stories that have fucking happened this week. So I took the boys to Bunnings the other day. Just me, Parker, Westy. And Parker always comes out with these random facts and stuff, right? And they just blow my mind. Like the whole yogurt thing that I've now turned into a stand-up bit, how he spilled the yogurt on himself. He's like, Dad, by this afternoon, you won't even remember that happened. And this is a similar circumstance because we're driving. And from the back seat, Parker just goes, hey, Dad, did you know that I was born on my birthday? What the fuck is that? What kind of statement is that? I just turn around and like pretend to be intrigued and like in confusion, be like, what? You're born on your birthday? And he's like, yeah. And I go, well, that's sort of how birthdays work. You know what I mean? Birthday. The day that you're birthed is the day that you now celebrate every year. And he goes, how old was I on like the day that I was born? And I'm like 0. He's like, wow, that's crazy. And then like, so when I got to my first birthday, I turned 1. Yeah, first birthday, you know. My Lord, his brain just exploded. The kid just discovered like basic life mechanics as if he discovered the Da Vinci Code or something like that. Like tomorrow I'm expecting him to come up to me and be like, Dad, did you know that you automatically breathe? He probably won't say that because he's got asthma. So it ain't easy being wheezy. Oh, God. Anyway, to be honest, I'll be completely honest straight off the bat. It has been a quiet week. I'm completely zapped from the 4 days of said social, being social, and the boys are fucking on the other side of the door. So I'm probably going to rip through these today, guys. Make it a quick, painless, easy episode, and we'll all just get on with our weeks, you know what I mean? But anyway, this is one thing that I wanted to touch on pretty crucially. I was actually supposed to talk about this last week, but we ended up talking like I finished recording and then we were fucking DMing each other after. So I told him I'd give him a shout out this week, and this is on me. This is 100% on me. As you guys know, I don't really do guest episodes anymore, but one of my good mates in the comedy scene at the moment is everyone says that, good mates. We're not good mates. Like, we're not going to go to each other's weddings and shit like that, but he is one of the guys in the scene that I like and I can have like a conversation with at gigs and things like that. So he's an absolute fucking legend of a bloke. And he announced probably a month ago, maybe even less, because it all happened so quick. He announced something pretty fucking huge, and I sent him a DM. I'm like, bro, I don't really do guests on the podcast anymore, but I am so keen for you to come on and tell your story and tell the fucking few listeners that I do have what you're attempting to do. And to be honest, I think he's going to do it. So his name is Ian Dowling. So he's an Irish bloke. He moved to Australia, I don't know the exact years. We'll firm it up when he gets back from his trip. Say 15, 20 years ago. Started off the traditional thing. He was backpacking, things like that, and slowly worked his way up here. Now, he then became a rep at like a, how do I tiptoe around this? Because I'm not going to expose any businesses or anything like that. He can do that when he comes on the podcast if he likes. But he ended up becoming a rep for like a, let's just say something around the construction industry. So a rep for a construction company type thing. And he used to post these like funny reels and stuff like that of just like relatable everyday shit. Now, he posted a reel probably about a month ago when I said, or maybe even 2 months ago by now. And he posted a reel. He was on a job site. And like I said, he's Irish. And it's always rainy. It's always gloomy over there in Ireland. And he was on a job site in the rain to fucking talk to the builders or something. And he just pulled his phone out, started recording the job site. And he's like, oh, Australians are such soft cocks. It's a little bit of drizzle and no one's rocked up to work. And posted it expecting nothing. Went to bed that night. Blew the fuck up. Went viral for whatever reason. A lot of his videos do go viral. I should ask him what how to crack the code when he comes on. And goes viral. Goes to work the next day. The office calls him in and they go, hey, we're going to have to let you go because you can't be posting videos like that with our shirts on and for our company and things like that. Even though, like, I'd have to go back and watch the video. I'm pretty sure you couldn't see the company's logo or anything like that in there. And it wasn't even anything horrendous. Like, could you imagine if my boss stumbled across some of the shit that I post and then he's like, oh, I'm going to have to let you go. But to be honest, my boss says some pretty outrageous shit. I reckon I would, I reckon I'd be able to come back at him pretty fucking hard for some of the stuff he says. Anyway, oh, sorry. I was just painting the picture in my head of how that would go because he would go, oh, I'm going to have to let you go for talking about fucking dicks and shit. And then I would come on the following week and just air him out to dry. Just go, hey, did you know that this guy from this company says this word? Oh, I believe there's going to be a couple of people listening to this that will get a little bit of amusement out of that, hopefully. Anyway, he gets sacked from his job. He's at home scrolling Seek and Indeed and all that. He's looking at all these other jobs and he's like, exact same boat as me. Like, if I left cabinet making, what the fuck am I going to go do, you know? Like, you're sort of pigeonholed. You got nothing else to do. And his dream is just to become a fucking full-time comedian. And he just come up with the random idea. He's like, why don't I just buy a push bike, cycle around Australia and perform stand-up comedy in every sort of town that I land in. And absolute genius, you know what I mean? And I've said this off the bat. Anyone that doesn't have, like, I don't know how to say this politely, like responsibilities, like a wife, kids, mortgage, all that sort of shit. If you're a bachelor with no kids and shit like that and your dream is to be a comedian, you better be out there every fucking night. You better be doing multiple gigs. You better be driving from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. You better be doing all that shit, you know what I mean? And then there's just people in my boat that, well, like, and this isn't a fucking woe is me thing, but you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. I'm not even going to dig myself into a deeper hole there. But anyway, so he started this journey last Friday, I believe. So he's got the bike, he's got all that sort of stuff. And he started on the Gold Coast last Friday. Then he had a gig in Brisbane on the Sunday. So that's 100 and something Ks. And from that ride, so this would have fucking broken me if I'm being honest. So shout out to him for like pushing through it, because he's kitted out this bike. He's bought all this gear. He's traveling around Australia with only what he can carry in a backpack and a couple of saddlebags on his bike. Like, check out his Instagram if you want to see his setup, Ian Dowling on Instagram. And I'll put his fucking info in the bio on this as well if I remember. And halfway from Gold Coast to Brisbane, his back wheel just explodes. Like, spokes and shit just snapped. And he ended up having to push his bike the rest of the way to Brisbane. I think he pushed it like 50 or 60 Ks or something. And like, he jumped on the stories and he's like, look, I appreciate everyone offering to come and pick me up and shit like that. He's like, this is why I'm doing this shit. He's like, not only do I love comedy, but I just love the grind of just doing shit that no one else wants to do. It's sort of like if he achieves this, like, it's genuinely like Ned Brockman fucking style achievement. You know what I mean? So he, hats off to him, pushed it to Brisbane, did his show on Sunday. And now I believe he's done Gold Coast, Brisbane, Sunny Coast, and Gympie. And now he's still like traveling up the East Coast as we speak. I think like one's off the top of my head that I can think of. I know he's doing Bundaberg, Gladstone, Rocky, Airlie Beach, Cairns. That's all I can think of right now. But again, if you go to his Instagram, he's got it all mapped out. And yeah, just absolutely fucking wild thing. Just living every comedian's dream before a mortgage comes and ruins us. So go give him a follow. And like, to be honest, when he announced it, I'm like, that's 100% something you would do, because around this time last year, he ran ultra marathon from he performed on the Gold Coast. Which way did he do this? No, he ran to Brisbane. He ran Gold Coast to Brisbane, performed comedy that night. The following morning he woke up, ran back to the Gold Coast, performed comedy that night down there. So he did 2 ultra marathons in 2 days, as well as 2 hour-long comedy shows. So he's ripping in, and I love every second of it. I love like waking up in the morning and just tapping through his stories and just seeing where he's up to with it all. So he's doing fun little side quests and shit like that all through the whole thing. So again, I cannot recommend you guys enough. Not only go give him a follow, but check out one of his shows. And if you do, tell him that I sent you, because I think that would put like a fucking, not that I'm anyone, but I feel like it would put a pep in his step if he's fucking in the middle of Australia and some cunt comes up to him at a pub and says, oh, Jimmy Misson from Can't Get Any Worse podcast said, come check you out. I feel like it would just be like that little bit of like home connection to him that would like, I don't know. It'll do something for me if I was on the ride. But anyway, he said 100% when he gets back, he's coming on the pod to break down the whole fucking story and the whole trip. So I'm keen for that. He's due back. I think he's aiming for February next year. So between now and February next year, he's, going to have cycled around all of Australia performing stand-up comedy, which is wild. Anyway, speaking about one fit guy, let's jump to another fit guy. Let's drag our next Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip over. Who we got here? Play.
Yeah.
This is T-Mac, and this is for all you ladies from 30 on up. Here's a little candy for later. T-Mac's out, baby boys, baby girls.
Oh, we heard that, brother. We heard you stumble. Baby boys. I mean, baby girls. Geez. I think you just exposed yourself for being a 60-year-old roided up homo. But brother, pick a lane. My God, you can't have it all, you know what I mean? But these days you can have it all. These days you can like and kiss whoever you like. Who am I to judge? Anyway, let's have another sip of kamikaze. I'm just going to do a quick kid check. 1 second, I'm going to pull the microphone away. Boys, you all good? Okay, they said yes, but there's a lot of screaming and bickering going on out there. So let's have a sip and then get into my next thing. Oh, all right. Usually, this should probably be in the back end of like shit that I've consumed or whatever. I need to come up with a better name for that. If you guys have got anything better, I don't want to do like this week in the news or like movie corner or anything like that. Nothing gay like that. Like if you've got something sick that covers the shit that I cover in that back end of movies, music, UFC, whatever else books. It's been a while since I've read a book. I should get back into reading. Anyway, we went and saw Toy Story 5 on the weekend. So, like I said, father-in-law and his wife are over here at the moment. So they decided to come along, which was cool. It got us out of the house for a bit. And, it was fun for them to come to the movies with the kids and shit. Anyway, this is a bit of a public service announcement, okay? If you're a 34-year-old man, do not go and see Toy Story 5 with your father-in-law. My God, just absolute mayhem, you know what I mean? I was fighting back tears the entire time. If you're like around my age, okay? Let's just say if you grew up with the Toy Story franchise and you now have kids, oh God, this movie's going to fucking break you. If you get like, okay, you can go to the movies and you can be the tough guy. You can fucking sit there with your choc top ice cream and go, this is fucking shit. You know what I mean? But if you go there and you just let yourself go back into your childhood, there was some sort of weird linking connection going on in my brain, right? Like my childhood of watching Toy Story was over here, and then it was connecting with my new like father brain, and it was just both sides was just jabbing me in the brain. It was like my fingers were poking my brain and just going, cry, you little bitch. Oh, God. Anyway, this could be a spoiler alert. If you don't want to know the general gist of Toy Story 5, I'm not going to give away the endings or anything like that, but the general gist, okay, is in the last one, was it the last one or the one before? They introduced like Bonnie, who's the new Andy, if you will. So she's now got all the toys and things like that. She's playing with them and all that. And I think why it got me so bad is because I was just relating it to P, okay? He was sitting beside me, and I was just like, oh, God, this is why I hate sending him to school. It was about her not being able to make friends and things like that. And I was like, and like kids were bullying her and stuff. And I'm like, fuck my life. I hate this shit. And then I'm just like, there was two parts of the movie. There were two parts of the movie where I could genuinely feel water touching my lower eyelid. And I was like, do not fucking do this, and do not make eye contact with your father-in-law right now. And guys, I survived. I recovered in the last like 3 minutes of the movie, shoveled some more popcorn in my mouth to get all that salt to dry up my tears. And once we got out into the light of the like outside of the cinema, I was fine. I was like, yeah, that was so gay, right? That was the worst movie I've ever seen. I actually enjoyed it, guys. Go check it out. Toy Story 5 is fucking sick. Here is one thing that I noticed in the movie, though, and I genuinely don't know how I've never noticed this, okay? But Bullseye, the horse in Toy Story, his nose is a giant cock, okay? His nose is a perfectly sculpted knob, and I don't know how I've never seen this, but within the first, I don't know if they've changed his nose for this movie or something, but I've never sat there in the first 15 seconds of a movie and gone, holy fuck, I'm just watching a giant knob gallop across the screen, you know what I mean? Blew my fucking mind. Disney animators are having the time of their life just putting this shit in there. Walt Disney will be rolling around in his hyperbaric chamber or whatever the fuck he's locked in these days. My God, let's get off the Toy Story chat. Yesterday, the boys were out in the front yard, and like I've said countless times before, they're real boys, okay? Real boys. Get down, get dirty, fight, wrestle, fucking kick balls, hit shit, yada, yada, yada. And one of their favorite things to do is build shit together. Now, yes, it's good that they're bonding. Yes, it's good that they're building shit, like working their motor skills and things like that. But sometimes you just watch it and you go, from a health and safety point of view, this is not going to fly, okay? So Parker was sitting there yesterday and he had a hammer and a handsaw, okay? And he's cutting these bits of timber. Now, both my kids, completely different kids, okay? Westy, tiny little scratch. My God, take me to the emergency room, scream my lungs out. I'm going to cry for the next 38 hours, okay, about this. Parker, he will just pretend it never happened, okay? That's the easiest way to get over things. That's what I do. Just pretend nothing ever happened and keep moving forward. Now, he does this, okay? So we're watching him. He's cutting this bit of wood, and all of a sudden he drops the saw and puts his left hand behind his back. And I've gone, you cut yourself, didn't you? He goes, nah. And I go, show me. And he shows me he had like tiny little dot of blood there. And I go, okay, could have been a lot worse. And then I don't know why I did this. My brain was like, I feel like you need to be a responsible parent right now. So I said to him, I'm like, you know why that happened? He's like, why? I'm like, didn't have your appropriate PPE on, your safety gear. You should have a hard hat on, should have glasses on, earmuffs, gloves, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And Parker looks at me, he goes, that's only for construction. And I go, well, you're constructing right now. He's like, no, I'm in the garden. He's like, I'm just gardening. So this is a bit of a shout out to my landscapers listening to this. Apparently you guys aren't a trade. So maybe might have to work a bit harder. But I said a couple of weeks ago when I did the front yard, some of the hardest shit I've ever done. So shout out to all the landscapers. I believe you're tradies. Turns out kids these days don't think landscaping is a real trade. So anyone that wants to rebut that, let me know in the YouTube comments. Anyway, we got another turns out it can get worse clip coming up, but I don't believe I can get through this without another sip of kamikaze. We are going to run short today, but it's all good, guys. It's all good. Short, quick, easy episode. That's what I love. All right. Speaking about yard work, let's see what this lovely lady's got to say about doing a bit of yard work. Hit play.
If I was out in the yard doing yard work, I would make sure I was wearing tight shorts and a tight shirt, just to make sure if there was a guy going by, so that he could stare at my ass.
Jesus Christ. Every Bunnings dad just grabbed their straw hat and went out to mow the lawn just to see that delicious piece of ass just bending over in her front yard. So shout out to all my YouTube listeners that just got a glimpse of that absolute stunner. But anyway, last thing I'll touch on this week in my personal life. I'm quietly excited about this, okay? I don't remember the last thing that I was really this excited about, okay? Obviously, I've dabbled in a million things over the years. As you guys know, I've told you all about them on the podcast. But as you know, over the last, how long's it been now? Maybe let's just round it up, 6 months. Started dabbling in the world of like trading cards and things like that. Now, I will spend hours just on TikTok and YouTube and shit, just watching people open cards and just like look at cards, tell you all the fucking good shit about them, all the bad shit, all that sort of stuff. And since like I opened my very first pack, I'm like, it'd be so cool just to have like a little side business. And that's what I'm going into this with, okay? I am not treating this as if it's going to be the next big thing. I'm treating this exactly like that. It's literally a hobby. It's just going to be fun to crack some packs and throw them up on socials. Now, as I said, I've wanted to do this for the longest time, and two other people that have wanted to do this for probably the last 2 months in particular is Westy and Parker. They're like, no, we want to start doing it. We want our own YouTube channel. We want to like post our cards up there. We want to put them on eBay and like flip cards and yada, yada, yada. And over the weekend, we're all sitting there looking at our cards, and they were adamant on it. They're like, we're throwing them all up on eBay this week. And I'm like, oh, it's going to take so long. And then they were just like, everything's just so quick with kids. And I slowed them down, and I'm like, look, why don't you set it all up properly? We'll come up with a name. We'll come up with a logo. We'll set up all the accounts and shit like properly. And once I broke it down and made the logo and stuff, and they saw how cool that was, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this properly. So we're starting like a half legitimate little family business. And like, who knows? Hopefully one day it will like stem into something. I think the way that Westy is with these cards, it could potentially like, he's fucking obsessed with them, like specifically basketball. But and he does the same, just hours on YouTube, just scrolling and scrolling. So could turn into something for him in the future, and then he'll just fucking forget about me. But I think in the meantime, it's just going to be a fun thing for me and the boys to do. Just crack some packs, throw them up on fucking Instagram, put them on eBay, all that sort of shit. So once this episode comes out, it will be live. The Instagram, I don't know if I'm going to start a TikTok, probably not, but Instagram and eBay store and all that shit will be up. So we're calling it West Park Collectibles. I thought that was fitting. Obviously, got West Park Productions. It's the first 4 letters of Weston's name, the first 4 letters of Parker's name. They both wanted to do it, so I'm like, West Park. They're like, yeah, sweet. Then we're going through like trading cards, like West Park trading cards. I'm like, why don't you just call it like collectibles? And then when you get older, if you get into fucking jerseys or shoes or whatever, it's still there under that umbrella. They're like, yep, we love it. Made the logo. Logo looks sick. It's got West Park Collectibles. Obviously, you guys will jump over the Instagram, give it a sus, but West Park Collectibles. Then at the top, it's got like a UFC title belt. The center of the championship belt is an MMA glove for me. On the left is a basketball for Westy, like on the side plate. And then on the right's a little baseball for Parker. So it all just came together so sick. And yeah, just so fucking keen to do a little side hustle with the boys. I think it's going to be sick. Hopefully pay for their university someday. Anyway, let's get into my weekend comedy. 2 gigs this week. So they were both sign-up open mic nights. So let's start on the first one. Tuesday night, I did the 4th Monkey up at West End. So I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Don't fucking quote me on that. But as I've been saying the last few weeks, my calendar's been somewhat empty. I've just sporadically had like a gig like every couple of weeks. And I'm like, how can I fill these holes until I pull my finger out of my ass and start messaging these room runners? So I'm like, all right, let's go back to the trenches. Let's go back to doing sign-up spots. And so I went there. I didn't have high hopes. I'm going to be completely honest. And I got there. There were 2 people in the crowd that weren't comedians. And I'm like, okay, like that's fine. Welcome back to the beginning, okay? It felt like I was going back to the beginning of comedy, if I'm being honest. Like a lot of the gigs I've been doing lately, they've been in good rooms. They've been fucking padded. You could almost say anything, get decent laughs. And it just felt like I had to fucking work again, which was good. Like I got there. They're like, oh, can we put you up second? I'm like, yeah, sweet. I'm keen to get up, do my shit, get out of there. And I was just sitting at the back and I'm like, fuck it. Let's just do new gear. That's what this shit is for. So I pulled out my notebook and I was just flipping through jokes of the solo show to see what ones I should start working again. And which ones did I land on? I did the Irrational Fears one and the Beanie Boys one, and then just finished on the Home Invasion one because I was like, it's still new enough to be fun and exciting and I can like still tweak it a bit in one of these rooms. So I got up there and look, obviously you're not going to get howling laughter and things like that in this type of room. But I was watching the 2 people the whole time. I was getting smiles and like little giggles here and there. And that's just like, oh, there's a seed there. That just needs some more watering. And then when I go to one of these big rooms again, that fucking giggle is going to be monstrous. So I absolutely loved it. It was, look, I'm not going to lie. It was so good to just be in the trenches again. It felt like that was the hardest I've worked in comedy in such a long time. Then on Sunday night, I did La Carmela at Caxton Street. So this was a comedy room that was like 2 doors up. I don't know what happened there, but now they've moved to this venue. Same vibe as the Tuesday night one, smallish crowd. Towards the back end of my set, a bunch more people came in. So hopefully the rest of the show was pretty sick. But I did the same thing. I'm like, okay, I've got 7 minutes. Room runner goes, can we throw you up first? And I'm like, sure, I'll take the first bullet and get up there. Mostly comedians in the crowd again. There's maybe 3 or 4 that weren't comedians. Dude in the front row looked like Colonel Sanders from KFC, just riffed on him for a little bit. And as soon as I started ripping on him, the rest of the crowd was into it as well. So then that gave me the comfort to go into this new gear again. And there's just something sick about these rooms that just makes you feel that sense of freedom. Like you can say whatever the fuck you want here. It's not a big room. You're not going to make it to a fucking Netflix special from here. You can say or do whatever you want. And when you get off stage, it's like, okay, did I get anything from that or was that a waste of time? And I genuinely think from both gigs this week, I got something out of both of them. So sometimes bombing in front of 2 people is better than killing in front of like a million strangers. So I loved it. I'll plug it at the end, but I'm going back to one of them again this week because I quietly enjoyed it. That just shows how fucked up my brain is that I'd rather go and do some of that stuff than pull my phone out and go, hey, can I get a spot on your room this week? So let's play our last Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip.
If you wanna do it to me, do it to my page. I'm here for a reason. I'm for the people. Like, do it to me. It's a huge compliment. Like, you fuck with me, I fuck with you, you know?
Wow, what a public service announcement. And guys listening to this, I just want to say, if you guys ever feel the need to stroke it to me, go right ahead, okay? I'm here. I'm here for the people, much like her. Could you imagine the sicko that would pull it out and stroke it to me? My God, you would have to have more shit fucked up with your brain than what I've got going on. Anyway, shit that I've consumed this week, title pending, depending on the help from you guys. So again, shoot me a DM if you can think of something for this segment. I could just ask ChatGPT, but I'm enjoying getting you guys involved as of late. And again, I appreciate everyone that is shooting DMs and shit like that. And apologies, I'm behind. I genuinely don't know how famous people do it. I'm nobody and I can't keep up with my DMs. And I remember back in the day when I was like trying to get guests and shit and I was DMing everyone and I'm like, oh, this can't even reply to me. I genuinely get it now. And I'm a nobody, but every morning I wake up and I got fucking 10 unread DMs. I'm like, who is messaging me? Probably the same guys that are stroking it to me. So shout out to you guys. Anyway. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was just reading my fucking title. I'm like, what is this story about? But I forgot we're at the end of the episode. Watched a Netflix doco this week. I have been pretty keen to watch this one. And finally, Nikita and I had some time on, I don't know, one night last week. It's called Mother's Instinct on Netflix. And it is absolutely fucking wild, okay? Again, much like most documentaries that I recap, probably a little bit too long than what it needed to be. Spoiler alert, if you want to watch this, maybe skip forward a minute or so. But it's basically about this crazy chick in America. She meets this country guy, genuinely fucking good bloke. I felt so bad for him at the end. She convinces him that she's like from a family of money. They don't talk to her, blah, blah, blah. Then she says they died and she's got the inheritance. She buys his family cars and utes and shit. Then they sign on to buy this multi-million-dollar fucking property. And this poor country dude thinks he's won the jackpot. He's like, holy fuck, I've got this chick. She's fucking nice. She's nice to my family. She's buying us all this shit. She's just bought me my dream farm, all that stuff. And then she, like all through this part, you can see she's a little bit crazy, like obviously us from the outside. And some of his mates are starting to catch on that like something's not quite right. Then she plants the giant seed. She goes, oh my God, I'm pregnant. And all through this pregnancy, like her belly's not growing like it would with a pregnant lady. So all his friends and family are getting even fishier. And then she gets to 9 months pregnant, still no baby. She pretends to be pregnant for 10 months. And all of his friends and shit are like, this isn't a thing. Chicks aren't pregnant for 10 months. And she gets to this point and she's like, holy fuck, what am I going to do? She goes, finds this chick that she like met along the way. It's all throughout the story. Finds out she's pregnant and pretty much due to give birth, goes to her house, kills her, cuts the baby out of her stomach, and then goes to drive home to pretend she's just had the baby. Gets pulled up by the cops on her drive home, and she's trying to convince this cop that she's had the baby. They take her to like hospital, like jail hospital. They do the fucking scans or whatever you do. They go, this is not her baby, and she hasn't been pregnant. And yeah, just absolutely fucking wild. Just this poor country bloke just ignoring every fucking red flag. And he just, your fucking heart sinks for him in the end. But she is, she's fucking crazy. Crazy chick. Bitches be crazy, as they say. Look, this is two old movies, okay? But just play along, okay? I was quoting some big jobs at work this week, and I just needed like a comfort watch in the background while I was just looking at fucking boring cabinets and dollar figures and blah, blah, blah. So there was nothing on Netflix or Disney or anything that piqued my interest. So I went on Prime, and I don't really go on Prime too much, but I'm glad I did, because when I logged on, it goes, you might like this, popped up with 21 Jump Street. And I'm like, God, one of my all-time favorite movies, okay? And I'm like, I wonder if this is still as good today as it was. It's still fucking elite. Like, I think 21 and 22 Jump Street is right where like woke culture and shit like that really started to come in, because in 22 Jump Street, they even start to like have jabs and shit at woke culture a little bit. Just about like Channing Tatum's like on his high horse. He's like, hey, you can't call people gay these days and things like that. So yeah, there's rumors that apparently 23 Jump Street is in production, but I don't know. I kind of want them to leave it at 21 and 22. Like I'm so scared that they're going to ruin the franchise by just doing it again. But yeah, I loved it. So if you haven't seen them for a while, go throw them on. Absolutely hilarious. And there was a scene in there that over the weekend I was like, holy crap, this is how I feel. In 22 Jump Street, when they go to college, they're in the bathroom brushing their teeth and they go, holy shit, co-ed bathrooms. And the chick walks in a towel and Jonah Hill goes, I'm not taking a shit the entire time I'm here. That's how I felt when Nikita's dad was here. I was like, I'm not shitting the whole time. I do not want to shit while there's another person in the house, okay? Last thing I've got to talk about, bit of a sad story. It is a fucking sad story, I suppose. And I can't wait for the next UFC breakdown to talk about this, because it'll be old news by then, or something else could have escalated from the story. But the Dustin Poirier story going around all over socials at the moment, absolutely fucking heartbreaking. It sucks so bad. So he got arrested in an airport. He was on a flight with his wife and kids, and turns out he's sort of dabbling in the world of fucking alcohol and probably drugs and shit like that, but definitely alcohol. And he's openly said on so many interviews over the last 12 months or so since he's retired that, like, I'm struggling to find a purpose. I feel lost. I've got nothing to do. Obviously, he's doing like a bit of analyst work and shit like that. Obviously not like making his brain think the way that fighting was or whatever. And I suppose that's what happens to these fighters. They literally dedicate from when they're a kid, they make their debut, they go for all these championships and shit like that, and then they retire when they're like my age, like mid to late 30s. And then it's like you've still got like a whole nother half a life. Like, what is going to make you feel the way that fighting made them feel? So, yeah, absolutely, like I said, heartbreaking shit. But what I will say, shout out to the cop that did that. Like, he handled that so well. I don't know if he knew who Dustin was and that's why he didn't really want to engage or fuck with him, but he's just like keeping his distance, trying to relax him. And Dustin was just fucking amped up, like had hands up and shit like that. And also just casually dropping the N-word, which was wild to hear. Wild to hear. Just one of the nicest guys that's ever been in the UFC, just dropping that. And then just hearing like guys from Louisiana and stuff like that where he's come from, just defending him. Like, yeah, that's what we do down here in the swamps. You know what I mean? Just completely different culture down there. So wild story all around there. I hope he gets the help he needs. And just one of the genuinely good guys that was in the UFC. So I hate seeing legends go out like that. But hopefully he gets the help he needs. Anyway, that's brought us to the end of the episode. Shows to plug this week. Tuesday the 30th, I'll be back at Fourth Monkey Open Mic again, probably running some new gear. If you want to see me do well, probably don't come to that because probably going to bomb my dick off. Sunday the 5th, I'll be at Sit Down Comedy's new open mic night at Forest Lake Hotel or Forest Lake Tavern. I don't know what it's called. So yeah, that should be a bit of fun. Other than that, guys, if you want to get in touch with the show, send submissions via DM on Instagram at Can't Get Any Worse Podcast, or shoot me an email at can'tgetanyworsepod@gmail.com. Both the boys are popping their little fucking heads in here right now. So that means I'm going back to dad duties. I hope you all have a ripper week, and I will see you later.